From let's say the tools of starting with and then ending up there are no classes.
بچه دستم در جمعی که باید بیاد بانک
So during the break period, both are classes in my calendar. Okay? Clear? Everyone? Good.
مردم نمیفهم چی آره تعطیل فکر کنم کلاس کنم تعطیل بود.
There was also an interesting question of the period. There was try to I would have gone to the web page of the link, but I can't, so I'm telling you. Now we are proceeding with the energy balance, and with the energy balance, we will also, with the energy balance at country level, we will also be able to do a lot of exercises in order to see that if you have understood or not what we have discussed so far. But as far as the previous part, I have uploaded, there are at least two documents that I would like you to give a glance to each. I have uploaded the executive summary of the World Energy Outlook, which is a 10-15 pages, which is, by the way, very coherent with the lesson that I did on the forecast. And my suggestion is, please read it, okay? Because it's a kind of, let's say, deepening of the lesson that I did. And so I think you can also develop further knowledge. And there is also the key energy statistics of 2018 of the International Energy Agency. And I would also like you to give a glance to it. When you find a graph, pictures or a table, my suggestion it's totally useless if you try to learn the numbers, because it's not the objective of the course. But if you find a graph and then you spend some time commenting the graph with your classmate, this is the right way to understand if you are, okay, the overall part of energy scenarios and things like this. Aside of that, remember that at least some numbers. We did an exercise at the beginning of the course, not because of the funny part of the story, but because there are some numbers that I would strongly recommend you to have. It's not only for passing the exam of Professor Colombo, which is a thing in your overall career, but it's really a way to become an expert in the field you are becoming an expert. Okay, so my suggestion is try to learn some of these numbers, at least the order of magnitude, because you cannot make some big mistakes in this field. Okay, so let's proceed with the balance.
چی بکشتر کنشون چیزی
So the first thing I want to say is that the energy balance of a country will not be much different from the energy balance that we are used to consider for an energy system. We will have the overall total primary energy supply, which is the energy, let me say, that anywhere that it is available primary for a country. And obviously this energy will be used for doing something. And the something we do is the so-called total final consumption. In between these two, let's say, streams, obviously they are broken down into different fuels. And here they are broken down into sectors. Because we have residential, industrial, and all these things. There are a lot of parts. And we are going to see the conversion systems that take place from, say, importing 1 barrel of oils and then using the oil product for filling or fueling our car. So we will be able to understand what are, let me say, the exchange that we do with the rest of the environment, total climate supply, what enters, how this is converted into final consumption, and what are the sectors that consume most. And it will be the overall energy balance, which means everything. Then we will design even the electricity balance, which is a smaller part of the source. And at the end of the day, and at the end of the exercises on Tuesday, I guess you will be able to surf among all this data and be able to understand it. So remember that Tuesday we will do an exercise together. So my suggestion is, I have already uploaded the text, the written text of the exercises. I have not uploaded, and it's my intentional, it's intentionally done, the solutions. I will upload the solution later on, because I want you to listen a little bit. So Tuesday we will do a bit of exercise together, then I will ask you to do some exercise to be a little bit more interactive, okay? Because there is nothing behind, sums and products, so not big, equation and integrals and things like that, but you have to use a lot of your brain. Okay, so there are two degrees. First part, some indicators, general indicators that will be used for us, not necessarily related to the energy sector. Then the passing by TS and TFC, and then TFC. But first of all, I would like to tell you something. We are going to use the International Energy Agency data, because they have balances for the majority of the countries worldwide. So it's a kind of standard. But obviously, as we are going to see, they will not be super disaggregated. If you really want to make a detailed analysis of the electricity sector of Italy, it is better to rely on the national data. There are a lot of statistical offices and agencies and also utilities that produce this data. thermo, the TSO, the Italian transmission operators, l'autorità, the authority, electricity and gas. We have many, let's say, entities giving us figures and numbers more detailed. Okay? As we are going to see, the data of the International Energy Agency are obviously aggregated. Coal, oil, gas. Okay? So we are not able to distinguish among the different power plants that we have, for instance, on gas. But when we come down to the national data, we can even arrive at the super disaggregated stuff. Okay? So this is good because the International Energy Agency creates a standard. So in a class like us, when we are going to analyze different countries, it's better for a standard. And also give us some, in an easy way, it's not easy, but in a more straightforward way, give us a good idea of the energy sector. But then, if you really need to have to dig one nation, you have to rely on national data. Okay? Because everything is more precise. So, I'm referring, I'll place here the link to the Energy Agency. That was my attempt to prepare the page here. So I've gone to the webpage of the International Energy Agency, and then I selected Italy. So there are some key indicators that are in my slide, but they are the same, just a cut and paste done by myself. So just to tell you that what is there is directly taken from the webpage. So these first data are relevant because they represent a kind of, let me say, identity card of the nation. There was one single table that I have split up in two because I have divided the so-called extensive indicator and the so-called intensive indicator. If you go back to your knowledge in applied thermodynamics, what is the difference between H and H small capital? One is the extensive and one is the intensive. And this is the same as it is here. So when we say the energy consumption or the, what is this? Okay, population is an extensive indicator. GDP, which means the national income. TPS, which is one of the energy indicators that we look, and I'm saying a certain amount of million ton equivalent, it's good. But then, when I want to compare two systems, Italy and Iran, Italy and Pakistan, Italy and India, the, let's say, extensive comparison doesn't make much sense. We will look for intensive comparison, for instance, ton oil equivalent per capita, ton oil equivalent per unit of GDP, so that when we have intensive indicators, we can compare country by country. Okay? Just like we did with the thermodynamic system. Okay? We don't compare based on H, we compare based on H small capital. So you see that here you have population, GDP, energy production, which is the quantity of energy that is extracted in the country, net import, TPS, total primary supply, electricity consumption given in terawatt hour, and CO2 emission. So they are very, let's say, 5 generic energy indicators combined by 2 non-energy indicators like the population and the GDP. And they are useful because these kind of indicators help us to create an intensive one. One of the most easy to use is total primary energy supply per capita. This is the amount of energy per single person. The total primary energy supply per unit of GDP. Do you remember how did I call this indicator? The energy intensity. Okay? Do you know the difference between gross domestic product exchange at current currency or the GDP at purchasing parity? Sorry? The difference between the GDP standard provided at the current currency exchange between the euro and dollars, or the GDP, the so-called PPP, purchasing parity. They are different. You will find a lot of, if you dig statistics, you find a lot of GDP normal way and GDP PPP. What does it mean? Very briefly. Okay, we are in a country. We calculate our GDP, okay, in euros. And then we want to compare to the international market. So we use, for instance, all the GDP at global level, they are all given in dollars. Okay? So in order to transform our GDP in euros, we see that today the currency exchange between Europe and dollars is a certain amount, and we convert it. Okay? This is a kind of market comparison. But if we are really interested in understanding how the GDP is transformed into quality of life for the people, this doesn't make much sense. So the PPP is used because we define a certain amount of basket of goods that are fundamental for, let's say, quality of the life, bread, milk, and other commodities. Now I have heard that these baskets are also mobile. A certain amount of goods that are considered essential. And then we say how much this basket costs in Italy and how much it costs in the US to allow to the individuals to buy. And then we exchange. This is the rate of exchange between euro and US, which might be very different compared to the current currency, because there is a different price of the life, cost of the life within a different country. Okay? You understand? It's clear? Okay. Clear? So pay attention to which kind of GDP are you comparing. The GDP, PPP, it is useful when you want to compare the quality of the life for the people. The first one is more useful to compare the economic power of two different countries. Okay? In this way, we create a lot of intensive indicators, electricity consumption, electricity consumption divided by population, which means electricity consumed per capita, CO2 divided by TPS, amount of CO2 emitted per unit of energy. So these indicators, the bottom part of the slide, is made by combining the above indicator, excited indicator. Okay? Look at the number so that we make a sort of recording. TPS per capita, 2. We are speaking of Italy. What does it mean? 2 ton oil equivalent per capita. How are we compared to the global average? It was one of the questions of the questionnaires we did. What is the average? How many ton oil equivalent per capita at global level? Uffa! Do you remember how much is the total energy supply? More or less what? Patate per sportina? An order of magnitude, guys. Okay? Pay attention. 14 giga. 10 at the 9th. How many we are in the world? 7 what? 7 million. Between 10 and the 9th. So the average. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Not that much. So we have, I was surprised to see this number. I thought we were a little bit higher, 2.5, but we are around 2. Do you remember the US? Good. Okay. Electricity consumption. We are around 5,000 kilowatt-hour per capita, 5 megawatt-hour, which is quite a number. Try to go back to the slide and remember and try to calculate the world average. These are kind of numbers you have to know, and you cannot make a mistake of 14 watt. For me, it's more important that you remember gigaton rather than 14. Okay, you understand what I mean? Because if you remember 14, and then they were. That's a nightmare for you. Okay, so The relevance between extensive and intensive indicator is that an extensive indicator, which gives the absolute number, is something, it might be useful, but if we want to compare country to country, we definitely need to go and make a comparison with intensive indicators, okay? Like you did in applied thermodynamics comparing systems. Okay, this is let's say a Sankey diagram, but it's very difficult to see because it's too small. But it is a kind of, but you have all the data. We will see that we have all the data. It's what is happening here within. We have all the TPS that are coming in the country from one side of the slide, and then we know perfectly, we can know perfectly how much of the oil goes in which sector. Okay? It's not easy to see, but it may be useful to use. Okay, now I just jump back to the web page. As I said, we are already within Italy. Under data table, you have the first one is what I'm looking for. Sempre che sia. Okay. You have key indicators, which is this one that I have already shown. Then we have the balances. Okay. Before going to the balances, that it is exactly the graph that I have cut and paste, let me show you what we have also here. You can find some very interesting charts. This is the trend of total primary supply for Italy, which, if you remember, is very much similar to the trend of the OECD countries, with let's say a maximum, let's say, around 2015, but a very low rate of increase, we may say almost constant, and then a consistent, let's say, decreasing shape, even if, let's say, roughly constant. But if we have to say something, it seems that it is more decreasing than with the consequences of the crisis, which are here, and so on and so on. Then you have also the same graph but represented divided by population. You have divided by GDP, okay. This is coal production, natural gas production, national oil production, renewable electricity generation by source, and we can see what has happened after 2015 with the impressive change of the power market, because up to this year it was mostly constant, but then we see the big change that has undertaken the power sector in Italy in the last actually 10 years or 12 years. Vabbè, scusate tutto l'altro. It's amazing. Okay, this is so this is the big picture. This is a big table which is including all I have said, which means that in the top, but now we are looking at each step. In the top part, we have the total primary supply, how the total primary supply is made. Then we have the conversion from total primary supply to final use, and then we have the distribution by total final consumption. So I will show it to you piece by piece in my slide, but just to let you know that in the International Energy Agency is one single table that gives you all the data. Okay? So you see, you have in the column you have all the fuel, and in the rows we have all the things that are used for making the TPS, and now we're going to see. And then what is happening from transforming TPS into total final consumption, the transformation phase, and then how the total final consumption goes to the sectors. Okay? Everything is here included. Now we look at this graph step by step. So this is the upper part of the picture. What is the total primary supply? The total primary supply is obtained by summing the endogenous production plus import minus export, which means let's say the net between import and export. Less, let's say, what we stock in the bunkers that can be stocked in the international marine or the international aviation. It's a kind of, let's say, way that it is stocked and it is not available for the consumption of Italian sectors. Plus or minus, it depends, even the stock change, which means the way in which we are using our stock reservoir. This means that sometimes in Italy, but also the other countries, we stock a part of the gas resources because we have bought them, but we have not used them. So in period in which, as it happened a few years ago, when we had this problem with Russia and the tap of the gas was closed, and then we were using our internal reserves, which means the stocks. And I remember an interview maybe to the CEO of ENI to discuss it, and he was saying we have it's a kind of capacity to be autonomous without the import for 3 weeks. Luckily, everything was set up before 3 weeks, and we have been able to keep on keeping the same level of production. Stocks are not, super big, but they are used because we can decide in period of low price, we can decide to increase our stock and to use them later on. This is the kind of use of the stock exchange. There are years in which we increase the stock, or there are years in which we use the stock. So it's the plus or minus, it depends on the time. So you have all the data divided by different fuels. So you can make the total permanent supply for each fuel, or you can make the total. The last column is the total, and if you simply sum the total of the production, the total of the import, minus the total of the export, the marine and the aviation bunkers, and then the stock changes, then you come out to have what it is called the total primary energy supply of Italy. Okay? Which is around 151 million tons equivalent. Okay? Okay? So, from the data, you don't have to make anything else than a sum. Simply considering an algebraic sum, import minus export. Okay? You can also do the calculation fuel by fuel. You can wait for coal. Okay? Summing all the same. So I don't think there are questions, because this is simply a sum that needs to be done at country level, that may be done. Remember that Italy is consuming something like 150 million ton of equivalent. Okay? You can compare these numbers with other countries to understand what is happening. The middle part of the big chart, so this is the chart on the webpage of the International Agency, and we have analyzed the first part, okay, until the row TPS. Now we are looking at the central part from TPS to TFC, total final consumption.
Why for some items we have both import
You can import oil, let's say, standard oil. You can process it, refine it, and sell out oil products. Or you are functioning as an output. So you have an import, but also you have an export. It's a normal while you are supplied.
they are not the same
then have very few export, very few. But I mean, it means that we have, there is a, I don't know, a national ship that arrived at the port. So we account for this coal. And then there is another ship that it is dealing with a little bit of this coal. And this is a kind of export. So I mean, it's kind of it's normal. We import a lot of crude oil. We use it, but also we process it. And we export oil to gas. Even with the electricity. Sometimes we import electricity and then we export electricity again. But it's done for different reasons. It's not impossible to have import and export of the same fuel. Okay. So this is the middle part of the. So this is again the line of the total final consumption, the total final supply, 150 here. Then obviously what we have to do, we have to start from the TPS and to understand what are all the energy conversions, okay, that we have done in let's say within the country. We have to understand what are the own uses, like the energy sector. Actually, this is something like the power sector. So you know the difference between the gross and the net electricity produced by power plant. The gross is, let's say, it does not include, it's the power that comes out from the turbine. The net is the one coming out from the turbine produced by the auxiliary uses, because you use some of the. So the same in general, because you have some conversion system, then you have some energy use by the industrial sector. And then you have also to reduce the loss to exclude the losses. So, starting from the TPS, doing all the conversions that are here, which are more than the only electricity sector, and we have all the conversion. We take out the own uses and we take out the losses, and we come out to understand what is the amount of energy that it is available for the country, for the final consumption. Okay? And you have the data. Because you have all the conversion here done, so you simply subtract, sorry, there is a mistake here, it's not 155, there's another here, I have to correct this, sorry. But this is the same 150, because I have 150 here, minus all the other, I have to change there are small errors there. It's not referring to the same graph, sorry. I can say because I correct the graph but not the formula, so I will upload it. But at any rate, you simply subtract from the TPS all the, let's say, the energy that has been used in the conversion, minus the energy in the industry own use, that is the last column, minus the losses. And you come out to have what it is the available energy for the total final consumption. It's a kind, if you look at the energy sector like a thermodynamic system, we are simply understanding what is the energy that we are not using for the final consumption. So we are creating a kind of efficiency now of the country, okay? It's not an efficiency of a power plant, it's an efficiency of the overall conversion system. Industry, transport, power plant, okay? But it's not much different from looking at Italy like a thermodynamic system. So the total final consumption, what we come up to at here, is a little bit less than the TPS, obviously. For instance, in Italy, this is 151 million ton oil equivalent. It was in 2016, and this is 170 million ton oil equivalent. So we can calculate a kind of efficiency of the nation. And this is the energy that it is available for the sectors with the final consumption. So we now move to the last part of the big matrix. And the total final consumption, these 117, are divided into the sectors. So you can understand how is the energy consumed by the industry, by the transportation sector, by adults, which means services, which is then split up into packages, into residential, commercial and public services, agriculture and forestry, but you see these are very, very small things. By making a big, let's say, distinction between the three big sectors, industry, transport and residential, you see that, the rule of 30-30-30 is not exactly applicable, but it's not very different. They have the same relevance. Industry is 30, transportation is 20 something, and residential is, let's say, close to 30. So you don't make big mistake if in a developed countries you say that the three big sectors, industry, residential, and transportation, are each of them 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. There are some differences, obviously, if you think, as we already talked about, the difference between US and Japan. Okay, obviously, the US, the transportation sector in the US will probably be, let's say, we probably have a higher share because, as we said, for domestic mobility, they use flight, which are energy demanding. Japan, they are small and teeny, and they use transport. So their, let's say, share of transportation sector will be probably a little bit less. Okay? And the same is with Italy. But you don't make big mistakes. You consider this 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. It's not the same for developing countries, where they have a very low, let's say, industrial share, and the residential sector is much more consuming because they have very few overall energy consumption. The residential sector, let's say, is made by number of things, which again it depends on the kind of statistic that you are looking at. And again, I suggest you to go and look at what is included in each of the sector in order to understand how it's made up. So this is the understanding of the overall matrix, which is the energy balance of the country. We move from the, let's say, upper part, which means we are looking at what are the energy available. Let me say, some of them are fluxes coming from the rest of the world, okay? And some of them are local production, it's like having a choice, okay? Production, import, export, and so on. This is the overall energy that it is available. Unluckily, we have internal process that, as we know from the second law of thermodynamics, all of them, they have different losses, they have different conversion systems, but as an ensemble, we know that a part of the energy will not be useful. By taking this out, taking out the, let's say, the energy that is needed within the system for the auxiliary, for the internal own uses and the losses, the transmission losses, but not only the transmission losses of the electricity network, we have also losses in the gas system, we have losses everywhere. We come out to have the total final consumption, which is then the real energy available for the consumption. And the consumption are aggregated according to sectors. Okay? This is the real energy available. Let me check one number. Okay. So, as you can see, from here, 55, 35, 25, 60. As you can see, I made a mistake in the slide, sorry again. Look, industry, total final consumption, 117, is made up by 25, 35, and 50. So, then this 50 is divided into residential and commercial and public services. Okay? Unfortunately, the International and the energy agency made a change in their website, and previously, I mean, it was much more clear than what it is now. Now it's very difficult to dig into the data, and it is not always clear that some of these numbers are sub-sums. They are not, we don't have to sum all of these, but this is the sum of the two below. So it's a little bit complicated, but once you make one calculation, then it will be straightforward for you to understand. Okay.